Also, you want to figure out what your market advantage is. While you're doing that market research, it's going to make it easy for you to identify what your competitive advantage is. Basically, your competitive advantage is you figuring out what's out there, and basically where that niche is and where you're going to squeeze in at. Once you figure out what that niche is, your competitive advantage is you figuring out what you are going to do better. What can you do better that the competition is not doing? You know, you kind of want to identify what are they missing on? Is the customer service they're lacking on? Is it the pricing that's too high? Is their pricing too low? Are their customers complaining about their wait times, their delivery times? Anything, you have to figure out what they suck at and create an advantage for yourself. Hey, it can be easy, it can be hard, you know, just depending on which route you want to take. Again, if you do it yourself, it can be a little bit tedious, but if you hire a professional, they will make it a lot easier for you. Also, with your competitive advantage, you're going to be able to figure out what are your unique competencies. That is very critical, because without that, you're not going to be able to know what your keys to success are, which is what we talked about in the previous module. So basically, with the keys to success, we touch bases on you identifying a few elements that's going to make you stand out. And if it's something that you continuously focus on improving and making better, it's going to be a key to success, basically. It's going to help you to be successful. So once you do that market research, that makes that so much more stronger, because now you know who's out there, basically your competition, how big they are, how much money is out there to make, and you know what your competitive advantage is. With that, plug that into your keys to success and you have your unique competencies. So yeah, in a nutshell, basically with this market research, you'll be able to identify your unique competencies, match that with your keys to success, and that kind of increases your chances of being successful. Last but not least, when it comes to this market research, you will be able to perform a SWOT analysis. That is critical when it comes to your market research, because not only do you want to focus on how big the industry is, you know, how many companies are out there, how much money is out there, and all of that, but you also get to figure out, compared to everybody else, what your strengths are, what your weaknesses are, what opportunities and what threats exist on the market. Once you identify that, you pretty much have everything that you will need to kind of take a step back and look at the whole market analysis to confirm whether or not you're ready. You know, sometimes once clients do that market research, that's when they found out, oh man, I'm shooting too small. You know, there's a $1 billion industry and I'm projecting only making $50,000 during my first year. Something's not right. So sometimes that is enough to point you in the right direction for your revenue as well, not just what you're great at or who your competition is and how you're gonna make it better. So that is your market research in a nutshell. Remember guys, you have to think about your competitors. You have to think about figuring out what your competitive advantage is. Also do that market research to figure out how big the market is, figure out what your unique competencies are, and also go through that SWOT analysis. SWOT is kind of what it stands for, of course, strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. And it is one of my favorite parts of the market analysis portion of business planning. But I'll just leave you guys with that. If you need additional information on the market research or any portion of that module, log on to theswinkadc.com. See you in the next module.